Joining me now, Jack Wilson, chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. Jack, great to have you.
Good morning, John. Good to be with you.
Jack, I am fired up about your convention coming up in May. It's tell us about it, because I think it's going to be like a huge Trump rally, right?
Well, that's essentially what we plan to make this, John. Our convention is going to be gavel in May 1st, which is Friday, and then May 2nd in Richmond at the Richmond Convention Center. We've finalized the contract on that, and really what we plan to make this is the Trump kickoff for 2020 in Virginia. The president has said he is going to compete here in Virginia. He's putting resources in the state. He's had resources in Virginia since last June. And he told me when I was at the RNC meeting late last month that they're going to make a strong push in Virginia. So we're going to do everything we can to help him turn Virginia red and win Virginia for President Trump. And our convention on May 1st and May 2nd is really the kickoff for that.
All right. Well, I'm fired up about it, and I think it's going to be a fabulous convention and kind of a big rally, and I can't wait. It's at the Convention Center, May 1st and 2nd. Hey, I got to read a text here I got from my consultant, Richard Krause. He says, correct me if I'm wrong, John. Did you not win a convention with your wife? I ran your stuff, so by default, and am I a liar and a cheater too? Because I was your consultant at that convention. No, Richard Krause, you did a fantastic job, and I'm for conventions for delegate, district chair, state central. I just don't like them for federal or state offices. But, Richard, you were fantastic. You were the best consultant I've ever had. You were great. You ran the campaign. We never should have won. You came from nowhere. It was brilliantly done, and I would encourage anybody that does want to win to hire Richard Krause, because he did a fabulous job. Now, having said that, let's get to your convention.
Hey, John, before you go, you remember that I ran that convention. I was the 4th district chairman when you got elected.
I know you did run that convention. So all my friends are here, right? But Krause did an excellent job. But look, Jack, there's no secret. I don't like conventions for electing Congress, federal office, senator, governor, delegate. I'm for primaries. I think that's how you build the party. You get more people involved. It's more inclusive. And I've just gone through too many shenanigans with these conventions, and I don't think they're representative. And I think they've hurt the Republican Party. Other people can argue with that, but tough to argue when you lost 19 races in a row in Virginia. Tough to argue that it all started with the convention in 2013. That's where the wheels came off. But I'm not going to go there now. But thank you. Okay, Jack, let me just ask you something. I get a letter yesterday from somebody running for chairman of Virginia, from Southwest Virginia. I think is the unit chair of Lancaster or something. I never heard of the fella, but I get a email from him as a past delegate to the 2016 convention, and so I get that, and it comes from somebody else's email, which is kind of weird. So you couldn't even hit reply. It goes to somebody I never heard of, so that was weird. But let me just ask you something. Were you at the 2016 convention with me, Jack?
John, you may recall I chaired that convention in 2016, doing everything we could to keep that convention fair, to make sure that the Trump delegate slate wasn't unfairly treated. It was a pretty contentious convention, and I remember you being there and grabbing the microphone and doing everything you could to support the Trump delegation.
So wasn't that the convention that Ken Cuccinelli came in and blew up the deal that we made to get the appropriate delegates that matched the 35% win we had in the primary? Isn't that the convention where they took the microphone out of my hands because I didn't have enough Trump voters there because they all went home? Isn't that the convention where Cuccinelli threatened the 2,500 Trump delegates there and said, if you don't give me this deal, we're going to vote you out and you're not going to have any delegates, and that'll be the story tomorrow in the Washington Post? Am I missing something? Were these different conventions, or was that the one in 2016 where we got screwed? Is that the one?
The 2016 convention is exactly the one you're talking about.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So that was the one where the Cruz forces came in, blew up our deal, threatened the convention, threatened the Trump delegates. 3 people we had, they threw them out, including Corey Stewart, threw him off the ballot, and then threatened the convention, that complete debacle, which I call the Harrisonburg heist. Where was Mike Shower? He's the guy that I got the letter from. His name is Mike Shower, I think. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Candidate for RBV chair. Where was he? Was he there?
I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever met the gentleman, so I don't know if he was there or not. Clearly was not a vocal and outward supporter of the president and the Trump delegates like you were, John. I don't know if he was there. Don't know that he spoke. So I just don't know. I think he's been active in the party for a couple of years, maybe been a unit chair, as you said, in Lancaster, but I don't know that he's been an active member and an active Trump supporter by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I would assume he was there. Now he's running for chairman. Did he do anything to stop it? Did he stand up for Trump? Did he stand up for the egregious stealing of our delegates that went on there? Did he stand up when Cuccinelli threatened the delegation? Is there something here that I'm missing? Did he stand up? By the way, the other guy running against you, Rich Anderson, did he stand up either? I don't remember him. I don't remember anybody, Jack. Any of these people running, I tell you what's getting me pissed off. I was there at that convention. We know what happened to us. We know how it was stolen from us. We knew the threats that were made. Where were these people, Jack?
Well, John, I was there. I was trying to keep that convention on the rails, and I can't remember who all spoke, but I do recall you being there, and I do recall the Trump team being there, working hard to get the fair results at that convention. I don't know that I recall either of the folks challenging me taking an active role in that convention, especially on behalf of President Trump and his team.
Yeah, well, I remember my turn to speak came, and they took the microphone away from me and simply said I didn't have the votes, and I had to go back to New York. We were supposed to get 7 delegates out of it, which matched the 36% primary result we got. That was the agreement that was made. They took 4 of them away. We got 3, and then I was told, you got 5 minutes to accept the 3 or you're not going to get any. And we worked our tails off. We won the primary. Hey, our people were all new to the process. They weren't going to stay there in Harrisonburg for 19 hours. They started going home. So they waited until the second ballot when all our people went home to pull this off. I want to know where these people were. Now they're running for chairman. I just want to know where they were. I want to know why they weren't there arguing our position that it was unfair and we were being raped at that convention. Where were they? Who was this guy? Mike Shower. Where was he? I want somebody call me and tell me, was he there speaking on our behalf? Was he backing Trump then? Or did he just go with the cruise people so that we could get screwed there? I'm just asking the question, Jack. I'm asking a simple question.
Yep. Well, and again, I can't answer that question. I know what I was doing at that convention. And more important, I know what I've been doing since then, which has been 100% behind President Trump. And frankly, what I'm trying to tell Virginians around the state as I go speak to local committees and women's clubs is the number one thing we need to do as a party, from the chairman all the way down through the party, is we all need to rally around President Trump and make sure that he wins this November. And we need a chairman who will be vocal in his support of the president. We cannot have somebody who is a little bit timid about supporting the president. The president has done a wonderful job for America, a wonderful job for Virginia, and it's important that we have a chairman who will speak up and support the president as strongly as I have since I've been chairman.
Let's get to what you're going to do here in the future. We've got a short window. This convention is in May. Let's say you get reelected. There's 2 other people, this guy, Mike Shower, and then there's Rich Anderson, good friend of mine, really good guy. So let's say you get reelected, and it's now May 3rd, 2020, going into November. Tell me what's going to be different, Jack.
Well, primarily we're going to be continuing a full effort to register voters. That is where we have seen the weakness that we've got in Virginia within the Republican Party. And frankly, we have been able to harness a lot of the Second Amendment energy some of that same energy that Senator Chase has harnessed, we are harnessing that energy and registering voters. And those are voters that will vote for the first time this November and vote for President Trump. And so that is really going to be the primary focus over the summer. Clearly, we're going to be working with President Trump's campaign team. They are organizing neighborhood leadership teams all throughout the Commonwealth. These are grassroots-led, neighborhood-led party organizations that are really out there to support the president and turn out to vote in November. So that effort will continue, and that will be intertwined with our local units as well. But the president's team's got a great plan, and I'm ready to implement it for him.
So how does their plan, what is it, and how do we get competitive in Virginia?
Well, we be very vocal, and we support the president. I mean, unfortunately, we've had circumstances, more obviously in Northern Virginia and some down in Hampton Roads, where we've had party leaders and party candidates who have been less than vocal in their support of President Trump. And that hurts us as a party statewide. At the Republican National Committee meeting, it was a very unified body, all in support of the president. And we need to do the same thing here in Virginia. Whether it's, Arlington or Abingdon, you need to be rallying around the president and his team and his accomplishments to get him reelected and working with that energy and registering voters and organizing at the precinct level is the way we're going to get it done. It's the old-fashioned way of electing candidates. You start at the precinct level and organize your neighbors. And the Trump campaign has been doing that and will continue to do that with us all the way through November.
How many, let me ask you this, how many new voters do you need to register and get out to the polls to make Virginia in 2020, let's say it's Trump, pick somebody, Biden, Sanders, whatever, to make it 50-50? How many do you need? Give me a number.
Well, if we could register 20,000 voters or 25,000 voters, that would make a big dent. Clearly, we need to register our voters in Southwest Virginia. We are under-registered in that area. When you look at the 9th Congressional District compared to, say, the 10th Congressional District, it's obvious that our voters have not been registered and have not been voting. And so I think this November we're going to have a real opportunity, especially if the Democrats nominate somebody, like a Bernie Sanders or an Elizabeth Warren or even a Mike Bloomberg, that our voters are going to get out because they'll see a stark contrast between the president and his accomplishments and what the Democrats would do if they took it over. So, but again, we're going to be registering voters wherever we can find Republicans to register. We're doing it at the gun shows. We're doing it at Second Amendment rallies. We're doing it wherever we can. We're identifying voters who have moved into Virginia from another state who were registered Republicans in their previous states. We're reaching out to them, welcoming them to Virginia and getting them to register to vote as well. So it's a full-scale effort to get our folks registered. And once we do that, we can turn them out in November for the president.
All right, we're with Jack Wilson. Jack is the Republican chairman, party chairman of Virginia, running for another term. Two other candidates in that race. One is Richard Anderson, House of Delegates, a former House of Delegates member, really good guy. He's running in it, and also this gentleman from Lancaster, Mike. Don't know how to say his name. I'm going to give it a shot. Shalwer. If I'm saying it wrong, somebody can text me because I don't know who he is. He's never bothered to call me up, so how would I say his name? And I certainly don't remember him standing up for us in 2016. And also, I just want to say something, another pet peeve of mine. Like, if you're going to send an email to me, send it under your own name. I mean, don't send it under somebody else's name. Like, that's like ridiculous. I just want to hit the reply button, and then it's going to somebody else I don't know. So I just find that to be, I mean, no big deal, Jack. Just a pet peeve. If you send an email to me and I hit the reply button, it ought to go to Jack Wilson, not somebody I never heard of. So anyway, but that's just me. Okay, forget that. Jack, your convention, May 1st and 2nd. If people want to go there, be a delegate, be a part of the action, how do they do that?
Well, you become a delegate through your local Republican committee, and so you file there to become a delegate to the state convention. If you're not sure how to do that, if you go to virginia.gop, which is our website, you'll see a pop-up that'll ask you for information. If you're interested in becoming a delegate, you go there and we'll get the information to you, how to file, where you file, et cetera. So you do it at your local unit, and if you're not sure where that is, go to virginia.gop, give us your name and information, and we'll get right back with you and tell you where to go to become a delegate.
John Fredericks Radio Network. I want to thank Jack Wilson for being with us. Jack, people want more info on your re-election campaign. Where do they go?
They can go to, I'm out, and then go to my Twitter account, which is Jack R. Wilson, Roman numeral 3, or they just call me, and I'll be out at all committee meetings and club meetings, et cetera, over the next couple of months.
All right, and don't forget the John Fredericks Trump slate running for national delegate. John Robert Ike, John Cosgrove. Don't forget to sign up as a delegate for us at our 4th district convention. We need you there. That's April 25th, Thomas Dale High School in Chester. And if you're in Chesapeake, we'll take you there on our cool charter bus. But all you have to do is go to my website, sign up, johnfredericksradio.com. There's a little Eventbrite sign up there. It's free, not going to cost you a dime. But you got to get involved. If you want to make change, you got to get involved. If you support Trump, you got to get involved, because the never-Trumpers are still out there. Some are even running for chairman, I guess, of the Republican Party of Virginia, I would think. I never heard of this guy. John Fredericks Radio Network.